meeting after Christmas. Everyone had a good Christmas and New Year, and I'm ready to carry on with the committee agenda. So, moving straight on, agenda item 1 is a apologies conference.
Sorry, no apologies.
Item 2 and declarations of interest.
For item 5.2, the non-pecuniary interest as a trustee of CBS Cheshire East.
Thank you. There are no members of the public, so we'll move on to item 3, minutes of Services Committee held on the 2nd of December 2024. And these will be minutes. Councillor Oliver proposing. Councillor Livingston, second. All those in favour? Against? Any abstentions? Thank you very much, Councillors. Now approved. Any matters arising from the minutes of the last service? No? Moving on, item 5 is community, and we've got a community engagement update. Assistant Alvar.
So we've currently got 26 volunteers. By the end of this week, we'll have 27. The recruitment continues to grow. Been fantastic help with the recent events. I'm sure you'll get to recognise them all as most of the ones we do. So talking about volunteers, we are planning our next volunteer thank you event, which will take place in Volunteers Week again in June. So that'll be a nice celebration of everything they've done for us. Also in terms of community engagement, it's not on the report but just some further updates. I attended the latest food partnership meeting last week. So the local food groups and pantries are working really hard together, and they've even started conversations about next Christmas and how they can tighten up the provision across the town so it's even better than it was last year. And there'll also be a Macclesfield partnership meeting for the whole town in the middle of February. The invitation's been sent out by John Nicholas at Cheshire East. So I'll have an update from that the next month.
Thank you very much. Shall I take some part of the community? It's fantastic volunteers are there doing the sterling job that they're doing. Just seeing them on the Northern Lights events, helping hand down yo-yos and all the other things and signposting speaking to various places. They do a sterling job, so on our behalf, if you can volunteer and thank them for all that hard work. Any comments or questions? No. Okay, item 5.2 is CVS CP.
Okay, so they've been a fantastic help reviewing the grant applications and getting the word out about the grants, which we're really trying to do a push on now. We have actually had 5 applications for the next finance committee already, and the deadline's not for another week, so it's working with getting the word out there. They're also helping one project convert to a charity, one project to really expanding the work that they do. So CVS is supporting that, and we get quite a lot of inquiries about people who want to apply for grants but aren't a registered charity or a community group. Obviously they can apply for micro grants which are up to £100, but sometimes they need a little bit more, so we point them in the direction of CVS, and CVS support them to become a constituted community group or a registered charity, so that work's ongoing.
Thank you very much. Obviously, we've got the reports in front of us as well. The work that's suggested, the bridge between ourselves and community groups that they is help. It's fantastic. Any other comments or questions? No? Okay. Moving on to item 6, local service delivery. 6.1 is the events update. We'll bring in our fantastic events officer.
Yes, so since the last meeting we've had one event which was Northern Light, which was last Saturday. This was a sort of placeholder event for the Lantern Trade, which we're not able to hold this year due to where Lunar New Year falls in the calendar, but we wanted to still have that theme of event where you're leaning into the darkness and making it part of the event rather than running home and hiding and locking it out. So it went from 2 to 6:30, so we came to some sites set around 4 o'clock. It's quite a busy day, so all the light elements were still working. gave out 300 light up yo-yos, and those went so quickly that we've had to bust out the emergency bubbles, and we had 200 of those, and those went as well. So it was busy. It was really busy actually. It was a lovely atmosphere and lots of nice comments. And yeah, the footfall.
Yeah.
But it follows the same theme as the big followers, which is sort of 25%.
Do 25% increase
25%,
that Saturday on
Yeah.
previous Saturdays. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's the sort, and if you look back to Seventh Christmas and Twilight, they all sort of show the similar upticks that we tend to get from these events. So it's proof that they are increasing the footfall, which is what we're aiming for. And then looking ahead, we have another event this Saturday. Lunar New Year. It's happening this Saturday. And all being well, we've got Conundrum outside doing full drum performance from 11 o'clock. The Dragon will come out and meet the crowd. The Zodiac Parade will head down to Park Green where we'll have different events, Split Dreams, the Silk Museum and the United Reformed Church. So we'll have the samples of traditional food, we'll have the crafts, we're going to have traditional calligraphy, traditional paper cutting. We've got a real mix of things for the very little kids and for the older kids and the adults as well. So we're trying to make it more educational and cultural. It should be a nice day. And then and then we're sort of looking ahead to the rest of the year. We're going to Easter, we're going to summer, and on and on.
Just carries on and on.
And on and on.
Obviously the 25% increase in football fees shows that we are still doing a fantastic job. The fact that free to attend events is amazing. I know that there are maybe some issues in relation to bus timings. There are free buses, which I think we are working on. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can work with D&G's, the bus operators to make people, or allow people to be in town for a lot longer and spend a bit more time in town. So thank you very much again for your hard work. I know it doesn't stop after one event because you're then straight on to the next. Any other questions or comments across the week?
Just to say, I particularly enjoyed the health stuff. And we've got the bruises to share. Could you just ask, do we have any figures on the D&G and the bus companies provide any figures on the number of people using the bus on those days when it's free?
They do, so it was in services, I think it was up to October.
Yeah.
But when we've got the next tranche, rather than asking after every
Yeah.
event, we ask every sort of quarter, and we've got a good comparison. And what Abby did was compare like a regular Saturday
Yeah.
with that. But what I can tell you is more people are asking, so more people will ring and say, oh, is there a free bus that day too? Or send you a message, is it free buses today? So that it's kind of becoming synonymous with the events, which is great.
Excellent, thank you.
Councillors?
Yeah, I'd say council level, we call it the scale thing. Somebody get jammed and you go down it, and I can't confirm I fit, which is what worried me when we got to the top. But I think the other thing, it's not just Northern Lights, but it's the events before Christmas as well. I think the other thing is that these events are becoming established, which I think really does help people know they're coming. So they can, and I think the Northern Lights was really quite busy. I thought it was great. And so I think thanks to the creativity, I think the event programme really important. I think one of the things that we might want to think about is how we advertise it outside Cheshire. Not that I would know how to tell you to do that, but I think if there's a wee bit of from the people in from Manchester, if we might need to do that.
Yes.
So what we've been doing with these events is we've been building up the little reels and the videos so that when it comes to next year we can, a lot of it will be social media to be honest, but reach out to like Secret Manchester and all these other little, obviously that's quicker, so we'll have the right marketing material to go with it. So we're building up all those ready for an assault on Manchester or wherever.
Say, can we cope with thousands of people coming from Manchester
I think
beyond?
it's a great problem to have, isn't it?
It is, yes. Any other comments or questions about the events? No. Obviously, looking forward to the new year and hope the consultants for Easter as well. So look forward to those. Item 6.2 is the floral displays.
So yes, we were in our winter period. So the Rangers have done their part. They have a little part of replanting, and ANZA have done theirs. So it's all been replanted. We don't have the hanging baskets in winter, and as I understand, the Bloom committee are together and already looking at it. We got the final report back from Bloom, which always takes a while after we won everything. So to go through that, you really pick up a lot of suggestions, and so they can be added in. So the Bloom committee are already looking at what they can do and what else they can enter. So yeah, it's all going well. Contract's going well.
Any questions or thoughts about the florals? No? Okay. Item 6.3, festoons.
There's nothing else really to say other than what's in the report, that the festoons on Chestergate that are being installed by Chester Youth Council will be maintained by ourselves. They're due to be installed by the end of March. So got no further on that.
Thank you. That's still on those. No. 6.4 is Christmas lights.
We've had a lot of interest in terms of Christmas lights. The deadline's Monday, so we'll see what we get back, and then the panel will. I'll obviously send out the applications to the panel, and we'll meet to discuss the submissions.
Again, any questions or comments? Okay. Item 7, leisure and outdoor activities. So 7.1 parks and play areas.
So at the full council we agreed 75,000 for the Tiddington play areas. Ed at ANZA has been meeting with the councillors there to design and sort that out, and then they were re-tendering for the showstopper in West Park. That's what they say, showstopper. But that's going to be, they only had 25,000, that's now been doubled to 50,000, so we should have a good showstopper castle type climbing frame. So they've re-tendered, they've gone out to re-tender for that. So that's where we're up to. We did ask about next year's budget, which we sort of said would come to central, and they said through some ideas of what's in central, and give the central councils maybe an idea of what they might want to spend the budget on next year. Just trying to get a little bit ahead rather than because realistically the money for Tiddington and West Park will probably have to go into reserves because it won't be spent this year.
Any comments or questions? No. Okay. Item 7.2, South Park Pavilion.
Should we have appointed each P Jones as the contractor. It's two-stage tender, and the stage we've at is the finalised price for the contractor. There's a few design things to fix, and which is not an unusual point, is that the price is higher than the budget at the moment, which is not unusual when you do a two-stage tender. So I've been through it recently in the last contract we just let in crew. So there's a bit of negotiation, there's a bit of value engineering to do, there's a bit of finalising the design. So we weren't been ready for tonight. I think we're aiming to bring it to the full council meeting in March. And the design team are meeting tomorrow. I think Laura has given them a very clear instruction.
Yes.
Fair to say about our expectations and what we would expect to see back. And whilst they have invited me, I'm not going. I think they know what they need to do, and that's what we pay them for. The other thing is that we, through a consultant, commissioned a hospitality consultant to look at how we manage the pavilion. I think the fundamental takeaway from that is that their advice is to split the use of the pavilion, to have a cafe area on the ground floor, which operates like a Costa Coffee, but not Costa Coffee, but that sort of thing, and then have the kitchen upstairs so we can run it as a function suite. We will probably will take more of an interest in the function suite. The thing, I obviously to manage it and be ready to manage it when it's ready. So if it's ready that part of this year, we need to be ready to operate it successfully. I think that consultant we've appointed will help us to do that. So sometime in the next couple of months we'll also be advertising or having a briefing session for operators on the cafe. The idea will be we'll brief anybody in the town who's interested and then we'll tender it. But we'll also focus on local supply chains. So if it's not a local operator, then we would expect them to source things from people in the town if they possibly can, particularly food, drink, beverages. So that probably, unless I've missed anything more, that's as far as we can update you.
The only other thing is the lease and the licence to works. We've received the lease now and we're working through it with the solicitor. There's a few tweaks that need to be done to it, but hopefully it'll all line up and come to the same full council, the price, the lease, the licence to work and potentially the procurement for an operator or the decision to do that. So that's the hope, but it's moving forward.
Sounded fantastic. You answered my question because I was just going to say in the agenda it does say re-maximum price and should be on full council dated sale. That's going forward to March.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
We tried to make it. We were
Yeah,
hoping so
Yeah,
that.
no, I was just
Yeah.
thinking, why we're not doing that? Just
Yeah.
any comments or questions about that part of the pavilion, apart from how fantastic it's going to be?
Yeah, yes, it will be.
No, okay. Item 7.3, playing notes.
So had a meeting with Community Sports because we were trying to expand playing out across the town. So we sent out an email to see if any groups were interested, and they were the group that responded, along with St Paul's Church. So obviously Create already hold playing out sessions. So Community Sports was keen to work with them and St Paul so we can maybe do more sessions. So just increase the ones that we do. So at the minute there's 1 a year. So it'd be nice if we do 2 or 3 a year. So we're having a meeting about that in a couple of weeks to see if that's going to be possible. But everybody involved is really interested in working together to do it. So
Sounds great when organisations coming together for the benefit of residents. Any comments or questions? Playing out? No. 7.4, allotments. The report is kind of does what it says on the tin.
yeah, there's no update. Quiet.
Take it, inspections and things will start ramping up once.
Yeah, March we start inspecting again. That's when there'll be different issues, I'm sure.
7.5 is the street sports.
So street sports is going well with the 2 sessions, the winter sessions. However, the Thursday session is considerably more popular than the Tuesday. We don't really know why it is, but we suspect it's because there used to be a session run by Community Sports Trust on Thursday. So the children that used to go to that now go to this one. So yeah, that one is a lot more popular. So we can think about that for future winters about whether we just do one. So yeah, that's a consideration for the future. Feedback forms I'm collecting this week. We've delayed because over Christmas and things, not many have been completed, so we're just giving it a bit more time. And yeah, I think that's it really.
Item 7.6, park fits. I don't know if Abby or...
Yep.
I
I am, yeah. So we made the move to Park Royal as we discussed at last services due to there being issues constantly with All Hallows. Park Royal has turned out to be a really good location. It's quite central for everybody, so yeah, we're really pleased with it. Prior to Christmas, we sort of had about 10 attending. The first session in January had to be cancelled, obviously due to the weather. We didn't really want people travelling on the roads when they didn't need to. We communicated that out and that was absolutely fine. And then last week's session, there were 25 people attending. Slightly concerned at one point that we wouldn't all fit in the hall. The mayoress was there, so she'll be able to attest to that. But yeah, it was a really good session. Loads of new faces, people of all different abilities as well, which is really good to see. And yeah, everyone had a really good time.
Casey was
Oh yes.
Thursday. She enjoyed it. Is it one of those New Year, New You?
It could, yes, could be.
Get into some free active sessions possibly. Councillors?
I would say cheerleaders. I don't think you get excuse for not going.
I was in the gym.
Okay.
Try my own way to shed a few pounds. Any other questions or comments? No. Item 7.7, fitness for the future.
Yep, 7.4.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Moving on, item 8 is street scene and it's 8.1.12.
So yes, so as well as the flowers that we pay for, there is a project called Mac on Foot, funded by UK SBF through Cheshire East Council are running this project. It'll be updating bins, benches, as Helen said before, it's paying for the festoons over the nearest part of Chestergate to the Town Hall. And the plans look really, really nice and it will brighten up the town, make it look even more attractive. It has to be done by the end of March, but I think they have planned in some dates in February, so fingers crossed it will all start happening in February. And of course it'll be the Mactown Rangers that actually maintain all these flowers and equipment. It's the capital that Cheshire East have paid for, but yeah, looking forward to it, yeah, definitely. And then last time we talked about the mural, which we agreed for Olive on the side of the Olive Deli, and Helena's been chatting to the tenants, who says the landlord is very excited. We just need his written permission, and then we need to work with our solicitor to find out what we need to do in order, to make this legal. And I think Helena has to have a little road closure. So there's quite a lot involved, even though it's not at height, this one, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a small stretch of pavement, a couple of days.
so when that's all in place, then we'll go to look for quotes. Hopefully get some local people.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Any comments or questions? No? Thank you. 8.2, Town Rangers.
Yeah, so in carrying out the winter maintenance, they've started painting the street signs again. That's one of their winter jobs that they do, go around maintaining the signs across the town. Also we have a new town ranger, Stephen, so you'll probably see him out and about. This morning they've been helping move the Chinese zodiac animals ready for Saturday's event, so he's had a real introduction into what town council life is like. One minute you're clearing up some shrubs, and the next minute you're moving Chinese animals, so yeah, they've just been busy doing the winter maintenance.
Thank you very much. And again, I think the committee might be minded to welcome Stephen to the role. A shock to the system when you turn up to work to move some giant papier-mâché Chinese zodiac animals, but it's all the name of our events. Any comments or questions? Rangers? No. Item 8.3, the 01625 Galwick.
So there was an open call for the current exhibition, which was entitled What I Want to Show You About Macclesfield. So artists portrayed what they wanted to show us about their town. They had 42 submissions, which are now hanging in the phone boxes. We are looking at new lighting and signage for the phone boxes. So we think we found a provider that does it specifically for heritage phone boxes, just to be able to light up the exhibitions a bit more, because they are popular. So to give it a bit more light. And the signage, we're looking at the signage for the outside of the phone boxes. it'll be traditional style, so it'll still be very in keeping with what's there. And then the next exhibition, which will be installed in Fair, will be a tribute to the town from some Ukrainian residents, and then they will incorporate a birthday tribute to Macclesfield Town Council in May for our special birthday.
Fantastic. Definitely looking forward to celebrations with the Town Council. Decade upcoming, so obviously I wasn't council back in 2015, but going from where we were to where we are now, I think it's testament to the hard work of the councils and obviously the staff as well. Thank you. Any comments or questions about the L1625 gallery? Councillor Benedict?
I think it's brilliant. I've just been looking at it as I come into the town hall, and I think it's really lovely that we've got residents now who have come from the Ukraine. They're settled here as much as they can be at the moment, and they're actually contributing to the town, and they're also thanking us for our welcome and our integration and stuff, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I think I like the idea of, I like the idea of lighting and putting signage on it. I think it's very creative, the whole thing, just one thing, there is a book festival in Christchurch starting on Saturday, so it's that sort of thing that brings people here, and the more that we do it, the more people will come. I think it's a fantastic idea. I think it's one of those first decisions I remember making as a councillor. Shall we buy a couple of phone boxes? Yeah. It's really worked really well, but not because there's been a fair amount of effort to support that. I do appreciate that.
Anybody else? No. Okay. As mentioned before, Museum on the Street.
Yeah, so this again funded by Cheshire East Council with the Shared Prosperity Fund. It has to be finished by the 31st of March. The boards, I've got a meeting tomorrow morning to go through the final boards. So it's pretty much ready at the stage where it's finalised. Then they'll be printed. Most of the boards are going over existing things. So for instance, instead of putting a new board in at the station, we are being allowed to use the old map and put something on there. That was sort of the quickest way to get it done, and we're taking over the light boxes outside the cinema, the Silk Museum, and also there's a big board there in the car park, so we're taking over that. There is 2 boards we need in Castle Street and Mill Street, so we're trying to get highways to put these in. I'm trying to persuade them it's a good idea to do it at the same time as to do Mac on foot. Does that make sense to me? But so if they don't go in, all the money spent and all the evidence will be given to Cheshire East and all the defrayal, etc. It would just be those 2 boards they'll probably be waiting to go in, because we know from Councillor Warren's notice board, we'll have a wait. But I'm hoping, because it's, everybody's getting these projects finished off, that, just 2 boards, not too much. They've already know what's under Castle Street because they've just recently done it. So fingers crossed. And then there's a little sneak peek. I don't want to give you too much, but there's a little tiny sneak peek. One of the things we get obviously asked a lot is about different people who are well known in Macclesfield that matter to the residents, and John Mayle was one of them. So outside the Ian Curtis mural at their little pocket park, there'll be information boards attached to them with the sort of music from Macclesfield, and he will be on there. So yes, I just hope
as well as
people,
some of the delights that people will have to wait and see.
yes, but I just really hope that people like it and get it.
Again, it's something quirky that we are
Yes.
proud to
Yes.
put out there of the history of Macclesfield. So looking forward to it. Hopefully Cheshire East Highways can do what they need to do.
Yep.
I know Councillor Benedict, I know you said you've been banging the drum for this. A couple more emails maybe be fantastic on that point.
Yeah, sorry, Chair, through the Chair, yeah. If you email me, I'll real nudge.
Yeah.
Real nudge. But I think sceptical what you're wasting money on that for, but it brings business to the town. You know, people are always fascinated. I've got a big birthday coming up soon, family coming over, but they're absolutely fascinated what Macclesfield is famous for. It's a little bit like, oh, I didn't know that. Especially when you come from a city like Liverpool, everyone knows the Beatles, but not everyone knows musicians from Macclesfield or the history of the silk trade. So, you know, and there's definitely more to the town than that. There's a lot more to it, like deck chairs and so on. But it's a tourist centre. Come to Macclesfield. Just get on a bus, get on a coach, get on a train, share a car, and come to Macclesfield. Promotion over.
Are you vying for the communications officer's job there?
Well, no.
Any other comments or questions regarding the museum on the streets? No. Okay. So item 9 is town centre regeneration. So item 9.1, town centre free Wi-Fi data.
Yeah, so as you will see from the report, the connection figures are down over the months approaching Christmas, October, November and December. They're down on the previous year. Not by a lot, but a little bit. And again, the same with users, and that is visitors that have authorised, i.e. browse the internet. They're also down October, November, December. Again, not by very much, but sort of enough to be noticeable. Most popular time of day remains lunchtime, and you know, we'll keep promoting the free Wi-Fi. We noticed from the social media post that we put up recently, a few people said it doesn't work. It does work. The instructions are quite clear. The town clerk tried it herself and it does work. So yeah, we just encourage people to try it. If you're having a real big problem with it, just let us know and we can help you fix that, but it should be fairly straightforward.
Thank you very much.
I can confirm that it works. I can look.
Any questions, comments about town centre free Wi-Fi? No? Okay. 9.2, this has been going on for quite a while as well, town centre signage.
Yeah, I'll give up at some point with this. I chased and spoke to the regen officer, and we both chased highways in December. Have not heard anything back from them. I will start pursuing other options, and I'll go in a different direction this month. Yeah, and that's it. We will keep trying. The ideas that we have for that signage would look really, really good. So we don't want to sort of forget about it. In terms of other signage, as the clerk was saying, many of the museum on the street boards are going to be replacing maps that are currently there, and they will also contain a new map. So the old one will be going, but there will be a nice, bright, easy to read sort of key visuals, and they will be appearing on these museum on the street boards. We're also going to make that map available to download, and it's, like I said, features all the key buildings in Macclesfield, the key shopping areas, train station, churches, things like that people need to be able to navigate.
Thank you very much. Just in relation to the town centre signage, it's a bit frustrating when we don't follow the assets. We're not responsible for highways or installing things. So if anybody from Cheshire East Council is watching this, you can try and help us out a little bit. It's encouraging people to potentially visit some areas that they may not know, go into different establishments that are potentially hidden away. So if there's anybody there that can help us, please do. Any other comments or questions? Okay. 9.3 is the Community Transport Subcommittee.
So I'll just keep it brief. Obviously, the statistics for the past couple of years are on the report, and I think that proves that when we, the town council, think creatively we can do things differently to great impact. And I think the free bus day has been a really good impact for getting more and more people to our free events. I think it's hopefully contributed to increased footfall for your events, Rachel. And I think, especially at a time when the bus fare cap has increased to £3, it's more important than ever that we, as a town council, are supporting our residents to continue coming to the free events, which are a really important thing to the town. So, you know, we're asking for 21,000 to continue them, but also to expand them to other events like Pride, MacPow, etc. So we're supporting other organisations and charities, which I think is really important for us to be doing. So everyone can support the proposal.
Thank you very much. So there is an action under the transport, community transport subcommittee. Proposal is to continue for free bus days for all events Macclesfield Town Council hosts, or to consider free bus and to consider free bus days for other town council sponsored events Mac in May, Pride and MacPow. Has anybody got any questions in relation to anything that James has mentioned about the or comments in relation to transport so far? Councillor Winston.
I think one of the success, well, the events are a success. I think the free bus travel is a success because it encourages two things. One, bus use, but it means that everything we do is accessible for everybody within the town, no matter what their means. I think it's an important statement for us. I think there are other towns within Cheshire starting to pick this up. I believe Sandhatch is also looking at it. And so I think there is a bit of trailblazing going on as we in here as well. So I would support extending. I think Mac Pride does a great deal. Clearly Mac Pride is a well-established event we're all proud of. But I think I'd be happy to support extending it to the other three events as well.
Are you putting a proposal?
I'm happy to put the proposal forward as they suggested in the report.
Councillor Wake.
Yeah, I'm happy to second that. I think, as we've just discussed with the other events that we put in, the footfall, business to the town, and also, you know, if you've got a family with a couple of kids, it's great. It means you can actually get into town and afford to buy something else, a drink or whatever, a sandwich, or even just take your own and join in, because quite often we have deck chairs. But I'd also like to ask, you know, the buses that come, do any of the buses lean to let a wheelchair on? Because I have residents who are, quite a few residents who use wheelchairs and struggle with public transport. And we've got our own little scheme going on in Herdsfield, but quite often it's not suitable for the time of day. And I know our buses go off really early anyway. Hopefully if we get devolution, that's something that will change that, but that's a conversation for another place. So I don't know if you know anything about that, Councillor Barber or Town Clerk.
They should be.
They should be.
And I will find out for definite, but as far as I'm concerned under the Equality Act, they should be. So I will find out for definite. I assume they are, but we shall find out.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we've had a couple of people say that the changing places toilets aren't accessible, but they are. And sometimes it's individuals. You know, not everything can be completely accessible. So we've been in touch with changing places, and their suggestion for that is tell them to bring their orthopaedic therapist with them, and they will show them how that equipment is able for them to use. So it's not something for us to sort of go in and tell them. So it may be that some of that around bus use, I don't know, but I will definitely find out and get back to you.
That's what you appreciate.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions?
Just a quick one. FlexiLink obviously is available. It has to be pre-booked though. But if people are wanting to come into town to the event and they know when the event's on, they can pre-book it in advance. And that's for people who are elderly or disabled.
Yeah.
I don't think FlexiLink runs at weekend.
I think if I'm minded as well, does it finish at 2, half 2 or something in the afternoon?
Yeah.
I think.
That's sorry if a major. That's my issue. There are plans to make that better. You know, and as I said before, if we get devolution become a devolved authority, then, you know, we'll have a big investment in travel, like, for example, the BNet, where the rail transport and the trams and everything else they have going on in Manchester and Liverpool. But it's an issue at the moment. If you want to go out of a night and you use a wheelchair or have another disability that you're struggling to get out, you've got to book in advance. There's no spontaneity there of let's go for a meal, let's go to a dance. Well, the disability, the Equality Act's been since 2010, and I'm quite sure the town clerk will correct me if I'm wrong. The Disability Discrimination Act was introduced in 1994. I remember that being introduced when I used to work at the college in Liverpool. It's disgraceful. And it's not like it's not Cheshire's fault, it's not Macclesfield Town Council's fault, but it's by design. People have been disabled forever. Jesus healed them in the Bible. It's been there forever. I'm on a rant now. But we need to society needs to make everyone a society that disables people. And I feel really strong about that because I've got, you know, I've had family members who've been disabled and residents who are absolutely lovely. They want to go out and have a good time. They want to join in. They're part of the community and they deserve the means to get there without booking in advance. That's my rant over.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to follow that. Any other comments?
To say, linking to Council Benedict is, I'm also a trustee of Transport for All. We're a national charity and they offer an alternative dispute system and a helpline for anybody who's been affected by inaccessible transport. So anyone who is subjected to an instance like where they can't get on the bus because of their disability, if they get in touch with Transport for All, they can provide legal advice, etc., which is quite helpful. So that's also there as a resource.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thank you very much. Just in relation to the proposal one, we've had a proposal put forward by Councillor Livingston, seconded by Councillor Bennett-Wake. Is there any other proposals that want to be brought forward or not? No. Okay, so we will vote on Councillor Livingston putting forward to continue the free buses for all Macclesfield Town Council events and also any other Town Council sponsored events like Mackin May, Pride and MacParry. All those in favour? That's unanimously carried, thank you. Moving on, item 10, we've got council identity and communications.
Thank you, Chair. So our main three forms of social media, Facebook, Insta, Twitter, X, have all increased again between 3 and sort of 4.5%, which is where we seem to be each time we do this. So still really pleased with that. We do have a Blue Sky account now. Twitter did decrease, and again, that's people leaving Twitter, not us. We have got a Blue Sky account now, which is obviously quite similar to Twitter, but there doesn't seem to be as many people on there that we are already linked with on other platforms. So we'll see how that goes. We do have a LinkedIn profile now, and I've been posting on that about the work that the Town Council do, how that links into our strategic aims and objectives, how the Mayor's event this weekend worked with local suppliers. We'll be doing a little bit more on the free buses and sort of the figures that we've got from that as and when we get them. So a little slightly different approach to Facebook, for example, but hopefully we'll give people some good ideas. And I've noticed somebody on there this week said Northwich Town Council heads up. So people are obviously wanting their town councils to do the same things that we're doing, so that's good. In terms of social media stats, this was for the last 20 days, so pretty much sort of December. Reach was 37 and a bit thousand. We had 57 new page followers. The top 6 posts in those 28 days before Christmas were with regards to the raw Christmas lunch. Don't Suffer in Silence, which was just our signposting to various Samaritans and other sort of helplines like that people might require over Christmas. Our post about Northern Light, encouraging people to come along and giving them a bit of an idea about what it's going to be. Another post about Northern Light and Lunar New Year, and then a post about the Twilight Market, which had a reel on it as well. So yeah, they were all our sort of top posts. Interactions, again, quite similar. 118 people interacted with the Monocle Deli post that we shared about them opening up on Christmas Day for a couple of hours to offer people a mince pie. The One Project opening up their surplus food cafe. We had 70 people interacting with that post. The Mayor of Macclesfield's Facebook page continues to be very popular. It's got 799 followers, so I'm going to challenge you to go up to 800 by next Services Committee. We printed our Mac Update little booklets in November. Everybody signed up to the mailing list received a copy into their emails, but we also gave out hard copies at Step Into Christmas. They were available in the Visitor Information Centre. Various shops, cafes had them. All the local houses around here received a copy when they got copies of the road closure letters. And then we literally, they flew out at Northern Light. We had them on the desk with the yo-yos, and by the time I turned around, all the volunteers were like, have we got any more? Have we got any more? And we didn't have any more. So they were really well received at that event, which I thought was quite interesting. And they obviously did have information about the things that were coming up later in the year. Move More Macclesfield, obviously those events were cancelled the first week of January, and as we updated those on the website to say that week would be cancelled, everyone who signed up to our newsletter would have had that update by email as well, so that's quite a good way of getting it out to people. In terms of other bits of marketing, sort of similar to what we've always sort of done and will continue to do, you know, we have our trifolds promoting Christmas, and we'll have those for the summer as well. All the local primary and secondary schools get copies of our events that we've got coming up to send out to parents. Whether they then send it to parents, it's a different matter. We have Rachel going on Silk FM. We had paid adverts for Twilight on Silk FM in November. We had a video message from the Mayor before Christmas in January. So now currently I'm looking at getting a meeting with Visit Chester and Cheshire together. I've got a meeting with regards to the second ever Joy Division Day. That was postponed from earlier in the month when it was very snowy. And again, we've sent comms out with regards to our upcoming events. So we had a lovely whole of page 3 in the Mac Express with regards to Northern Light. They've all had information about Lunar New Year as well. So there is no excuse, basically.
Again, a comprehensive report. Thank you very much for all the hard work you do in relation to promotion of the town council and what we do. Just one question that I've got with the mailing list. Roughly, if you are to get this information, how many subscribers are there to that on rough estimates?
Actually, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I honestly can't remember, Chair. I will have that information for you. I can send that to you. Every now and again, we do a bit of a prompt and ask people to sign up. I can't remember what it was. It might have been before Christmas. I think we gave the people who'd signed up to the mailing list, we said, obviously, you'll get to know everything first because they got a copy of the press release. And then everyone else on Facebook found out a bit later that day or the next day. So we occasionally put a little incentive to sign up to it. But it just means that people will be kept up to date. So if anything does get cancelled due to the weather or anything like that, it will go straight to your inbox.
Again, for those watching, if you don't subscribe, how's that doing?
You just go onto the website, and the information is all there. We don't use your information for anything else. We are bound by GDPR laws as everybody else is. We will only use it to send you the email newsletter.
Any comments or questions in relation to communications? No? Okay. So that just leaves the time, date and place of the next Baxter Town Council Services Committee, which will be the 7th of April, 7pm at Town Hall. Thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you for watching.